In my wrestling and in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. My lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, my lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. My lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. My lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore. Oh, safe to shore.
All right.
Good job, guys.
Good job, guys.
Day 4. The title of today's story is Jesus Makes Our Crooked Path Straight. Jesus makes our crooked paths straight. You all want to read that together? Help me read that. Ready? On the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Jesus makes our crooked path straight. I'd like to tell you the story about a brother and sister who were on a tropical island. And they were there on the tropical island, camped out on the beachfront. The brother's name was Aiden. He was a handsome-looking young man, a teenager, like some of your older brothers or cousins. Isn't he cool? Aiden had a sister, and her name was Amber. And she was really, really awesome and totally rad. Well, they went on a hike with a group of friends. They decided they wanted to explore the jungle. They packed up their backpacks with lots of food, lots of water, and they set out on an expedition. There were about 6 or 7 friends. They were all following each other down the crooked paths of the tropical island. They heard all kinds of animals, monkeys, tigers, jaguars. They were so scared they had to stick together. When they stumbled upon a thunderstorm that struck right in the middle of their hike. The rain started to pour. It was a tropical storm. All of the animals went to seek shelter. All of the campers were shuffling their feet, trying to stick close to each other, when all of a sudden, in the distance, they saw a dark tunnel, so they headed straight for the tunnel. What they found was a cave. They began making their way down the dark and cold, slithering pathway down into the depths of the sea. As they saw the waterfalls coming down, cascading down the backside of the caves, they decided to take a further gander. They went towards the rushing water. All of a sudden, glistening in the distance was a massive hidden treasure with gold and jewels, diamonds, pearls, rubies, just like your mom's jewelry boxes at home. Only these were real. I'm just kidding. As they went and started jumping through all of the jewels, swimming through the gold coins, all the boys were jumping into the water going, yippee, we're rich! They started stuffing their backpacks as much as they could find. Aiden even took a couple of handfuls of gold and put them in his backpack. But Amber only took one piece of jewel from the cave. She saw it glittering. It stood out from the rest. She made her way straight for the pink diamond. She picked up the pink diamond. Her eyes began to turn big like Schmeagol.
The precious. You cannot have the precious.
She started turning into Schmeagol from Lord of the Rings. She hid it in a secret compartment in her backpack. When all of a sudden they heard voices down at the back of the cave, they realized that they had stumbled upon someone else's treasure and that they should not have taken the treasure or the pink diamond. And all of a sudden, they took off running, the whole group. And a group of natives who were making their way through the caves came and started speaking in their own native language, communicating, our gold has been stolen. They said, and our much coveted pink diamond is missing. Most of the group got away. All the friends took off running. But there were two that were left behind because they weren't fast enough. And they looked for one another. And when they went back to help each other, guess what? The natives captured Aiden and Amber. And the native men took them in deep into the cave. And they began to push them and prod them and try to insinuate what they had done. Aiden knew in his heart that he did something that he wasn't supposed to. Amber knew in her heart that she had done something that she was not supposed to do. But they both got them together. They put them in a jail-like cell. It was dark and cold and wet. They were trying to huddle up next to each other. They were shivering. I'm cold. Aiden, keep me warm, please. Okay, come here, Amber. They were brother and sister. They were holding tight, trying to keep warm. And Aiden knew there was something he needed to do. He needed to give back his treasure because he had done something wrong. He had taken something that did not belong to him, but that belonged to the island that was protected by the natives. So Aiden quickly, he says, I can't do it anymore. I must give it back. He went and got his backpack, and he called the men and he said, come, please. And they said, and they all came around, they gathered around, and Aiden poured out all the jewels and all the gold that he had in his backpack, and he said, I'm sorry. And he bowed his head, which in their tradition was a sign of forgiveness, of contrition. Can you say contrition? It's when your heart is humbled and you're saying, I'm sorry, and you feel bad. They said, oh, yes. And they gave him a big hug. And they removed 2 of the big, heavy spikes that they had that created the jail cell. And Aiden came out. And Amber tried to come out with him, but they said, whoa. They put the stakes back in their places, and Aiden said, please, give it to him. Give it to him. She said, no, never. He said, I gotta go. I'm gonna go and tell the rest. We're gonna come back for you. We won't leave you, sister. So he took off running. 1 whole day passed. They came to her in the morning. They slid her a little bowl of water that had been carved out of a rock. And she drank it up. And they threw her a couple of crumbs of bread. And she got down and she started to eat it like a little mouse that eats in the corner of our homes. And they started pointing to her. And she said, me, no. And they said, they were so angry and mad. They knew. She said, check my backpack. She gave them their backpack. They looked through it and they threw it back down. She got her backpack. She went back to the corner and she opened the secret compartment, and there it was, shining, glistening. She closed it quickly, like Schmingo.
No, the precious. Mine, all mine.
She didn't give it back all day. Finally that night, as she was in the dark, cold, wet cave, she said, fine, God, please help me. Rescue me, Jesus. Save me, Lord. As she cried that out, she heard a voice in her spirit that said, if you confess, I will be faithful and just to forgive you of your sins and cleanse you from all unrighteousness. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways commit them unto God, and He will make them straight. She said, I'm sorry, God. I will give back the pink diamond only if you rescue me and save me from this terrible situation. She called the man. Hello, someone please help me. And the men came over to her jail cell. She said, yes. And she reached out and gave the men the pink diamond. As soon as she gave them the pink diamond, there was a burden that was lifted from her shoulders. She smiled and she says, that was the right thing to do. And they said, oh, yeah. They moved the spikes and they said, oh, go. And she took off running outside the cave. As she was running through the jungle, she started to make her way looking for daylight. And she was running just as she found her group of friends that were on their way to rescue her and save her from her situation. She saw Aiden and Amber. They hugged. They said, I love you. I'm sorry. I should have never done that. He said, it's okay. We all did that. We all make mistakes. I'm so glad that you changed your mind. God is a good God, and he's a faithful God, and he forgives us when we ask God for forgiveness. And they made their way to the beachfront of this amazing tropical island. Amen. How many of you enjoyed that story tonight? How many of you guys would like Pastor Josh to make children's storybooks one day? I'm going to pray and ask God to give me the strength and the discipline to do it. It's a promise. Okay. We got some questions over here. Starting over here. Did Amber give back the pink diamond? Yes. Oh, man. I heard two twin brothers that both deserve one. Did Aiden give back all of his gold and jewels and say, I'm sorry for making the wrong mistake? Yes. Good job. Over here, this section right here. Where did they find the hidden treasure? Does anybody know? Over here, back here with the green. In a cave. Good job. Over here in this section, over here. Over here in this section right here. Okay. What language did the native men speak? Hannah, do you know? Did they speak their own language? Did they speak their own language? Yeah. What? How did it sound? How did it sound? That's right. Good job. That section over here. All right, this group over here. I'm looking for this section in blue and see if they can answer a question. What was the name of the boy and girl over here in the blue? Whoa, Amber and Aiden, great job. One last dollar bill right here. What is the key to Jesus rescuing us? What is the key? This young lady that's standing up over here in the orange, what is the key?
Jesus saves us.
Right, Jesus saves us. When we ask for forgiveness and say we're sorry and take responsibility for our wrong actions. Isn't that right, boys and girls?